choose. Coming through from the booth to the moon, it's the route, what it do? It's the same ones around me, no recruits. Stay down when it's cloudy, not a sun. I just want the cheese like where the Packers be. Never move out west to Hollywood, that's where the actors be. Never trust again if you had ever turned your back on me. Heard you got that bag, well I must have a hefty guy on me, yeah. Count up the loot, yeah, count it up. Call up the troops, we coming through, we coming through, we coming through, yeah. Call up, count up the loot, yeah, count it up. Call up the troops, call up, we coming through, yeah, coming through, we coming through, yeah, yeah. Stacking my chips with the dip. I jump like a running.
I'm Jamie, and this is my red Nissan 350Z, although it is an iridescent spray wrap, so obviously the colour is different depending on where you're looking at it. Ultralight hierarchy wheels, just put on the side louvers on the back quarter windows as well, and the tarmac sport side skirts, just to make it look a little bit lower. On tying lowering springs with an Aero Kit D1 front bumper and custom headlights.
Jamie, have you got any other mods planned for it as well?
Right now, no, I actually haven't. I've literally just done the side louvers, like I said, but in terms of mods, I think I'm just going to start looking at doing the typical Jap stuff, the rust prevention. There's a few patches coming through the bodywork, and there's a little bit of corrosion underneath. So this year so far I've done, like I said, I've done the louvers, put the hierarchies on, and also done a custom exhaust with a Tom A tip. But currently no new mods, I don't think. Project car that's never going to be finished.
Have you done anything on the inside as well?
Yeah, so obviously I've done the custom gear shifter cover, as well as the NRG quick release steering wheel and the crushed velvet roof lining with the twinkly lights as well, just to make it.
Oh, that's like Rolls Royce, isn't it?
That was the goal. That was the goal. Obviously I've done audio upgrades as well, so as you can see behind the seats here, we've got the big kicker 1200 watt subwoofer.
Yeah, I can see that.
But other than that, the interior is pretty basic. I just wanted to create, so obviously the outside of the car is very loud, very blary, you know, the colour pops, the noise screams, it just looks very aggressive, very annoying, and I wanted the inside to be the polar opposite of that. I wanted the inside to be a nice relaxing place to be, so you're kind of like driving down the motorway, you've got your music on, you've got your twinkly lights, and it's just a bit calmer than what you actually see.
Yeah.
So that was the intention. I wanted kind of Jekyll and Hyde, chalk and cheese kind of thing going on, you know.
Alright, perfect.
I'm Jack, I've owned my Z for just over a year now. I bought it on 84,000 miles. I've done a few mainly maintenance things to it so far, so gearbox, oil change, diff oil change, normal service. I've got some of the raised wheels which come fairly standard on the car, but I had them refurbished in gunmetal grey. I've got 25mm spacers all round on the wheels.
Yeah, it gives it a nice stance, doesn't it, as well?
The exhaust is a Magnaflow catback. And with some high flow cats. I haven't really done a lot to the car. I've changed the head unit and the speakers. Inside's fairly standard, but looking to do some more mods soon. Hopefully get a spoiler on the back.
So this is what it's like, kind of stock, isn't it,
Yeah,
inside?
This is standard interior. For now. Yeah.
Is that standard shift as well?
Yeah, that's standard gear shifter.
That's pretty short.
The only thing I've really changed in there is the head unit. and I've changed the speakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, brilliant.
That's about it.
Should we just start them up and
So I'll let you rev yours up and then I'll start mine.
You can't hear it.
Count up the loot, call up the troops. We coming through, we coming through. Count up the loot, call up the troops. We coming through, we coming through. Count the loot, call the troops coming through. From the booth to the moon, that's the route. What it do? It's the same ones around me, no recruits. Stay down when it's cloudy, not a sun.
right, Jamie's just gonna take us for a little drive.
Let's do it. It's lovely, man. It's so nice. This is what I was saying. I wanted the inside and the outside of the car to be opposites. I wanted the outside to be loud and aggressive and in your face, but I wanted the inside to be somewhere where you can come and chill and
Yeah, yeah.
you know, just enjoy. I mean, we all love cars for the same reason, and that's driving. You know, they're extensions of our personalities at the end of the day, aren't they? That's why we do cars. So you know, we might want them to be loud and obnoxious and in your face one minute, but at the end of the day, we all just like going for a nice quiet drive at the end of the day. So to have it.
It's loud in here, man.
To have it as a place you can come and chill.
Yeah. So Jamie, you said you've had the car when it was pretty much stock.
Yeah, so I bought the car when it was bone stock. Had a few issues with it. I've had it for 5 years now, and as you can see from everything that I've done, it's been quite the journey. The colour change was obviously the biggest difference that I made, and I did that quite early on.
That colour, Jamie, what is it, like a custom?
The colour that's on there now, yeah, it's a completely custom colour. It was done by a company in South London that unfortunately has no longer exists. But it's a completely custom colour. It's built up of, I think it's like 5 layers of. It's actually a spray wrap. It's not paint. It's a wrap. But it's applied in the same way that paint would be in a booth.
Oh, okay.
So like I said, it's built up of 5 colours, and the final one that gives it that lovely gold glow is gold flake in the lacquer that they used. So that just gives it a nice little pop. When the sun hits it, obviously it shines.
So is it something you know, you can replicate again, or it's going to be hard to match?
It will never be matched, unfortunately. Like I say, because of the way it was built up in layers, and you know the way that it was built up in the layers and the way that they applied it couldn't be replicated, I don't think. So there is a colour change in store for at some point down the road.
Yeah.
I will go for a different colour, but I'm not sure what that'll be yet. I'm still deciding. Every time I pick a colour, I change my mind again.
I think it needs to be something loud.
I agree.
To go with the personality of the car as well.
Yeah.
What do you reckon this is kind of breaking at now? Is it, what are they stock?
I'm not sure. So this stock, because it's one of the older ones, was about 280. Mine has now got 158,000 miles on the clock. She's a 17-year-old girl. She's been driven hard. I wouldn't even like to guess. It's lost a fair few.
Is that all hard miles there?
Certainly the last 5 years have been. The last 5 years when I've owned her has definitely been a couple of hard miles.
Oh man, it pushes you back though. I mean,
You feel it. You do feel it.
Because it's naturally aspirated, it builds up nicely. You're not going to get a sudden surge of torque.
Yeah, there's no turbo lag or anything like that. You know, you haven't got to wait for it. It does what it does. You know, and that is one of the main things that I do like about it. The power is there. I mean, you know, there's people out there that have turbo, twin turbo, supercharged these, but I don't know if that's a path that I want to go down.
Are there any engines that are kind of dropped in quite regularly to these from a different model?
2 JZs.
Okay.
2 JZs go in these quite often. 1 JZs. Also, I've known people to do the upgrade. Like we said, this is a VQ35DE engine. They upgrade to the VQ35HR, which is the one after this. So yeah, there's some of the most popular engine upgrades.
Yeah, and Jamie, you said it's got like a eco mode or something on
Yeah,
there
so this
as
over
well.
here, it's a D1 spec throttle controller, which is actually quite nice because like I said, on a long drive, as you can see here, we're in Eco 10, so you know, conserving a little bit of fuel, and then just with a simple touch of a button, that just switches it to normal, and then again, sport mode, and that just releases the throttle. So it just lets you play a little bit more.
Oh man, you can really feel the difference straight away.
You feel it as soon as it changes, and you hear it in the exhaust as well. You can genuinely. This is what I was saying to Jack when we were out the other week. I was like, just driving down the motorway, just flicking through the settings, and you can hear it. The second it changes, you hear it in the exhaust, and you feel it in the throttle. It
Pushes
pushes
back.
it.
Oh man. Reminds me of an E46 M3, the way the power builds, it's right to the red line.
Yeah.
There's no let off.
No.
It loves revving, isn't it?
It loves rev. They are high rev engines, aren't they? They're designed to be. They're designed to be pushed. They're designed to be used. I mean, they're in a little 2-seater sports car. Do you know what I mean? They're there to be used, like I said.
Is there like a big community in the UK then for 350Zs or?
There's a lot of them. Modified community is obviously considerably smaller than those that still own them as stock cars, but there is still a good community. It's getting harder and harder. Like I said, mine is one of the early ones. Mine's a 52 plate.
This would have been probably the first year they made them then, I think.
It was the first year in the UK, yeah. I think it was the first year in the UK anyway. So getting hold of parts is now starting to get harder and harder. You know, recently I had an issue with a brake line. I had the option of obviously ordering the part from Nissan themselves, which is the only place I could get it, but it was a 3-month wait because it had to be imported from Japan, which is a little bit inconvenient. Like I said, I know she doesn't come out very often, but certainly more than once every 3 months. But then that takes you on the journey of, you know, customization, modification, and certainly learning. I had to learn how to make brake lines. And granted, I didn't do it very well, and I had to get some outside help, but it got done nonetheless. You know, rather than waiting 3 months for it to come from Japan, there's a couple of guys in Basingstoke that offered a helping hand and did a smashing job on it.
You do a lot of the work yourself, Jimmy, on this?
Try and do as much as I can with some guidance. I've got a lot of friends that are mechanics, one of which is actually a neighbour. He lives directly opposite me, So he's always willing to help, which is really nice. He's into modified cars himself, so he's always quite happy to help.
Oh, I think the mods are just right, isn't it? Yeah. Have you taken it on track much?
No, so I've only been on a track once, and like I said, that was when it was fairly stock still. I hadn't really done much other than a set of wheels on it, a set of wheels and tyres, which many would argue is the most important modification for track racing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great car, even as standard. It was fantastic on the track. It was a brilliant car to use on the track. I don't think I'd like to use it on the track now, just because she's too much my pride and joy. She's a little garage queen, rather than rather than sticking her on a track.
All right, wicked. Jamie, did you want to mention your Instagram page as well?
Yeah, so my Instagram, if you wanted to follow me, is @JME350Z. Just post car pics, so there won't be anything on there that you don't want to see. Just nothing but car pics.
All right, cheers, Jamie.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure hanging out.
Thank you. It's been great.
You can hear my exhaust. You can hear me a bit more over my exhaust compared with Jamie.
Jack, do you want to tell us a little bit about 350Zs? Like this one, obviously, it's kind of been modified a little.
Yeah, it's been modified a small amount. So this is one of the earlier Zs. Jamie's is a 2003, one of the first,
which we can see there.
Mine's 2005, and up to 2006 they had a VK35DE engine in, so 276 brake horsepower standard. I can't remember the torque figure. It's quite similar, so I think it's around 280 pound-foot of torque. And then in 2006 they done a model called a Rev Up, which they changed on the engine internals, basically made them a bit more robust, and they came with a better gearbox, which a lot of drifters use in other cars as well. And they had 300 horsepower standard. And then in 2007 they've done a facelift, shall we say, called the HR, which came with a twin air intake and was 313 brake standard. But yeah, I mean, I think they're a great car. The DEs you can pick up a lot cheaper. I bought mine for 3,800 last year in September, 84,000 miles on the clock. A few cosmetic bits, lights are a bit pitted, and little small amount of rust, nothing big. So I think it's quite a bargain price, really. Jamie was the influence to me buying one. I test drove his. 3 weeks later I bought one. But no, it's a great fun car. I've mainly done maintenance stuff to it so far, so I bought it, done a few miles in it, had a couple of drives, so changed all the oil and filters. I've since changed the gearbox oil, the diff oil, just as for my own peace of mind, new fresh stuff for my car. Haven't really had many problems with it. Common issue is the cooling fans fail. So mine had failed. You can't really tell other than actually hearing them. And so around Christmas my car ended up getting a bit hot, which caused a very slight misfire. So that was just engine sensor.
You didn't do any damage to the head gasket or anything like that? Or?
No, it was just creeping up towards the red, and I could see that it was getting hot, but it just changed the crankshaft position sensor. That's about it, really. I put the stand, so it came with the 6 spokes on it. I put the rays on, had them refurb, new tyres. I've got tame lowering springs, which are only 15 and 20 mil, but makes the car handle a bit better. Squats down with power. I put 25 mil spacers all around, and I think it just makes the car stance pretty well, and it handles well. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it.
Jack, so you reckon this will make kind of a good entry level, for someone who's looking for a toy for the weekend? Or
yeah, I mean, so I've just turned 22. I got this just after my 21st birthday. I was thinking, haven't really ever built myself up a credit score. You're never going to get a fun car in life now because houses are expensive. Let's have a early midlife crisis, as I thought. So I've got my Audi as my daily car, and this is my bit of a weekend toy.
What's the insurance like for you, Jack? Because obviously
surprisingly quite good. So I mean, my insurance is affected slightly. My first car, someone hit me, they went through a red light, and it's always played a slight effect on it, although it wasn't my fault. But this year I'm literally just about to renew the insurance, and it's £705. And the Audi is also just over £700. So for each car at 22 years old, you know,
You can't go wrong.
No,
Better than a Corsa.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, can have a bit of a drive around some of these roads.
Yeah.
Out in the open country.
And it really pushes you back, man.
Yeah. For a naturally aspirated engine, the power is really, it's nice and smooth, progressive, but you can feel it.
And it really pushes you back.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm quite lucky in myself to live around these roads. So if I want to come out for a little blast one evening, they're all national roads, you know, national speed limit, not much traffic on them.
Top tip for the full use of your road tax.
Yeah, 100%. The only trouble with these roads is cyclists, but it's not the end of the world. Plenty of space to pass them, which is a good thing.
Really hold the road, man.
Yeah, it made a massive difference having brand new tyres. So I've got Nanhang NS2s on the car. I thought, you know, it's a toy car. I don't, you know, rubber is an important part of the road, but I don't feel it's worth paying, you know, up to say £200 a corner for the car. I got these on quite a good deal. I think I paid just over £200 for the full tyres. In the dry, they grip phenomenally. And even in the wet, I think it's quite good. Like, it's pretty grippy. Like, you know, you do get the up tail twitch, but you know, rear-wheel drive sports car with nearly 300 horsepower, and it's half the reason you buy the car, for a bit of fun.
Man, you've got the best roads down here.
Yeah, they are great. Great for driving, great for pictures. And another thing is, I really don't find the Z that bad on fuel. I drive spontaneously, shall we say, quite often, and average around 22 to the gallon. I drove it to Cornwall the other week and got 31 to the gallon on the way down there. Gentle cruise, and they're a really comfy car with the standard seats, and they hold you in quite well. So,
Jack, you got anything planned, mods wise? Any ideas?
I've got a spoiler going on the back in the next couple of weeks. Just, you know, it's not quite veal side size, but something that's got a bit of size to it. I want to get a different front bumper. I think I want to get a Nismo V2, but I'm not 100% set. Always changing my mind on what I want. And for the rear, I've seen someone custom make a GTR diffuser into the bottom of the bumper, so you end up with a quad exit, which I'm a bit of a sucker for. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
Perfect. Jack, do you want to give us your details for Instagram as well?
Yeah.
And,
so my Instagram tag is v6mad_Jack.
I'll put it up on the. You'll see it pop up on the video anyway.
Cool.
So yeah. All right, brilliant, man.
Nice to meet you.